Alright everyone, this is a video about 5 ways to check a capacitor. We're going to start with the most redneck way of checking it, all the way up to one of the most sophisticated and advanced ways of checking it using power factor. Alright, so the first way to test a capacitor is to pull it out and visually inspect it. Now you're looking for bows in the bottom or the top, see if it's domed to the top, showing that the oil has blowed out of its internals. I also see guys doing what they call the wobble test to see whether it wobbles on a flat surface. If that ain't the most redneckest test I've ever seen, then I don't know what. So please do not do the wobble test. There are better ways to test a capacitor. We'll get into those next. Okay, the second way is to ohm it out. And this is a very rudimentary method. It really only tells you if the capacitor has some kind of circuit inside, some kind of continuity inside, but it doesn't tell you what the actual capacitance is. So this really is a very simple way of diagnosing. Maybe you don't have all your tools with you and you just have a simple meter with you that doesn't read capacitance. Maybe you can tell whether you got a bad capacitor that way. But there are better ways to diagnose a capacitor, and we're going to get into those. So the third way is something that probably we all do. We bench test it using a capacitor reader on our multimeter. Most HVAC meters have them. If you have a meter that doesn't have a capacitor tester on it, you're probably not using the HVAC meter and you need to go get you one. So in this case, this 45 microfarad capacitor is only reading 38.9 microfarads, so starting to fail. If you notice on the nameplate, on the compressor side, it's 45 microfarads, and it gives us plus or minus 6%. So that's the tolerance. If it's outside of that tolerance, so you'd have to multiply 45 times 1.06 and 45 times 0.94 to figure out what your tolerances are, but you could diagnose a capacitor very well this way. It's a very accurate method, but believe it or not, there's better ways. Alright, so the fourth method of diagnosing and checking a capacitor is to do it while it's under load, which means it's running. That may be blowing some of y'all's mind if you don't know anything about HVAC School or their app, but on the HVAC School app there's an awesome tool where you can plug the volts and the amps coming off the start winding, which is the Herm wire of the compressor side, into their tool, and they'll tell you what the running capacitance is. And I have personally found that many older capacitors test okay on a bench with no power. Once you start putting a little bit of power, a little bit of heat to it, all of a sudden they start to fail. So this is a really good method. It's quick. You've got an easy tool on the HVAC School app to do all the math for you, and you can diagnose capacitors even before they fail. Here's how you do it. If we're checking the compressor side of this capacitor, then we're only interested in the common and the Herm. So here's our Herm, and here's our common side. We're going to check the voltage across these two terminals, and then we're going to read the amperage coming off that yellow Herm wire. That goes to the start winding of the compressor. You have to check amps on that wire, not any of the others, in order for this to work. Alright, we're going to check amps on the start wire, which is that Herm wire. And it's really important to keep that wire right in the middle of our clamp so we get an accurate reading, and we're getting 5.41. We're going to make a note of that. Alright, then we're going to check voltage on the Herm and the common wire that goes back to our contactor, and we're getting 364.6 volts, so we're going to make a note of that reading. Alright, so as you can see from the previous slide, our capacitor is over 12% out of tolerance. So we need to replace this capacitor. But before we do, I want to show you one last way that we can check capacitance and get some more electrical performance readings from the system. But to do that, you're going to have this meter, the Redfish IDVM 550 by Subco, or similar reading meter that can read power factor. To check power factor, we're going to have to grab the total amps of the unit as well as the line voltage. And on this meter, when we set it to kW, it gives us our volts and our amps simultaneously. So we're reading 245 incoming volts and 6.9 total amps. So that's what everything on this condensing unit is pulling. Okay, when you hit the function button twice on this meter, it goes into power factor mode, and that's what this cosine is. We're reading a 0.925 power factor, which means that 92.5% of the power that you're paying for from the utility is going towards work. The other percentage is being wasted. That may seem okay, but we're actually looking for something over 0.94, so we're just slightly off, and the reason why we're off is because our capacitor is not putting out the right amount of capacitance to counteract the inductive reactance that this motor is creating. So this is the fifth way that you can tell if your capacitor is operating correctly, is looking at the total power factor of the system. If you're reading less than 0.94, something is off. Either your capacitor is not working right, it might not be properly sized, and you may need to investigate further there. So we've discussed 5 ways that we can check capacitors, starting from the most rudimentary, redneckest way to a pretty high-tech way of checking capacitance using power factor. But wouldn't it be cool if there was an app that could put all that information together and tell you what your system was doing? Well, to learn about that, I need you to first download the MeasureQuick app. Okay, this is not a tutorial on how to set up and use MeasureQuick, but when MeasureQuick can talk to a meter like that Redfish IDVM 550, it can measure power factor, and it will give you a diagnostic fault if your power factor is below 0.94. So all you've got to do is hook up your meter and your other instrumentation to MeasureQuick, turn it on, let it do its thing, and it will tell you what's wrong with the system. How awesome is that? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to replace this capacitor. We're going to bench test it. We're going to check the capacitance under load. We're also going to check power factor and run it through MeasureQuick again and see what happens. So our new capacitor is reading ohms this time. So that's another indicator that our old capacitor was bad. If you remember, I was reading an open load on the meter. Notice how the ohms are going up. That's normal. As a capacitor charges, the resistance value is going to go up. Alright, a new capacitor is in place. It's all wired up. I always double check to make sure I've wired a capacitor up. Man, I've changed 1,000 of these things, and I've been doing this for almost 25 years, and I still miswire capacitors because I get a brain fart every now and then. So save yourself a little bit of trouble. Check it before you power it back on. Alright, we got some new voltages, 373.5. We'll throw that into the HVAC school app tool for measuring capacitance under load. Let's next check the amps. We're checking amps on that yellow Herm wire, and we're coming up with 6.72. We'll throw that into the app as well, see what we get. Alright, when we plug those numbers into the HVAC school app, the under load test for that capacitor, it showed that it was good. But what happened to the power factor of the unit? Did that change? Let's find out. So as you can see, our power factor went from 0.925 to 0.96. So that means that this system is now 96% efficient from an electrical and power consumption standpoint. That's really good. Let's see if MeasureQuick is happy with that number. Well, MeasureQuick is happy now that we've gotten our power factor back up over 0.94. That diagnostic went away. So think about your normal everyday servicing procedures. If you walked up on this unit behind me doing a preventative maintenance, would you have found this capacitor? It was running. It wasn't overamping, but it wasn't until we checked it under load that we found it to be 12% off. It wasn't until we checked the power factor that we realized just how inefficient that condenser was running. So if you're not doing these tests, a simple bench test checking capacitance is good, but checking it under load is even better. If we had not done that, we may have left this unit alone. It could have resulted in a callback later on a summer day when this capacitor went bad all the way, and we're leaving revenue on the table for our company. Okay, we talked about 5, maybe even 6 ways that we can check a capacitor. The first 2 ways, the wobble test and just simply ohming it out, are kind of rudimentary. We want to stay clear of those as technicians. But bench testing it with a capacitor checker on your meter is a great way. An even better way is checking it under load and plugging that into the HVAC school app. And an even better way is checking the total power factor of the condensing unit to see how it's performing and how efficient it is electrically. And you could throw that information into MeasureQuick and get some diagnostics that maybe you didn't even realize you had. This is Tim with Southern Comfort Consulting. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe.